Today, we turn up the heat with 4-Dog Stove. It's the portable stove that brings the kitchen to your campsite.
Plus, we're rocking and rolling with key log rolling. There's a new look for an authentic American lumberjack water sport.
People are passionate about outdoor equipment. Get this, Americans spend more than $20 billion a year on gear. But no one ever really sees how their stuff gets made.
Well, that's where we come in. Each week, we throw open the factory doors and give you a behind-the-scenes look at how your favorite gear is made.
Made for the outdoors.
I love being outdoors. You know, camping gear has come a long way in the last 30 years. Specifically, the last 10 years has been hot for these things, hot tents. When temps in Minnesota drop to 30 below zero during those cold winter days, this is what you want to have when you're out in the woods. The key part of it is right there. That is a 4-Dog titanium tent stove. It is a small and very efficient heater. They're safe too, and quite the story when you see how these things get made for the outdoors.
A sign of the times. Out here in the country, life seems quiet. Until you step inside.
Yeah, we stay pretty busy.
I find it very zen.
4-Dog Stove crafts American-made wood stoves, and the workers are proud of it.
It's a camping stove, heating a tent outside in the wintertime.
I think I consider ourselves more artisanal workers than just fabricators or manufacturers.
Think of Don Cavalis as the mind behind the metal, a lifelong outdoor guy who eventually turned his passion into his work.
And from the time I was a little kid, you know, that's one thing I felt really lucky as, you know, my dad would let us go free range. I mean, I could go camping by myself when I was 8 years old. Still just a big kid. It was so fun to be able to make things, then make things that people can use.
By things, he means mainly these stoves, portable steel and titanium wood burners that go into tents. The whole idea, campers can stay warm and keep gear dry in the coldest, wettest, toughest outdoor conditions.
If you want to buy something, if you want to just go out for the weekend, there's plenty of people that make items for that. But if you want something you can leave your grandchildren, this is the stove for you.
No doubt Don is proud of his work. It's a quality thing.
Now, I've been making these now for 17 years, and I have yet to have a spot weld fit.
Don welds away his days alongside two important employees, friends of his, Stephen Jackson and Mark Matty Madsen.
Yeah, it's almost like working for yourself a little bit. You get a job, you do it, and it's kind of nice.
The 4-Dog Stove process starts with a seemingly simple box made of either steel or titanium.
We start from flat pieces of steel and titanium, and we get all the stuff here to form it, cut it.
We try to keep it personalized. Each stove is handcrafted, but yet we have to use modern production methods, so we'll make a large quantity of, say, cyclones.
Exactly why Mark preps plenty of extra parts. Stephen then picks pieces to build the stove's rather complex front door. Think of that door as the control center of the stove.
Line it up with a hole.
He starts with the door lined with a fiberglass gasket.
I feel in here, make sure the gasket's right. That way it'll seal right.
Once it is exactly straight, a weld holds it in place. Then, a quick grind to take off any sharp edges. Up next,
Bend it just a little bit so it stays nice and tight in there.
the air vent control.
Throw a spring on it, that way it always stays tight.
And then, Stephen bolts on the handle.
The handle fits nice with the latch on it.
One last piece. A spark shield goes on the inside of the door. And like that, oh wait,
Thank you.
break time. Don's team takes daily breaks out on the deck. Okay, after a quick cup of coffee, we're back to work as 4-Dog stoves take shape and they take some color.
Made for the Outdoors is brought to you by Nutrisource, Nordic Components, Banks Outdoors, River Valley Power Sports, Ice Castle Fish Houses, Yugo, and Suzuki Marine.
We put a little piece of ourselves in everything we do, and we look at everything as a personal reflection of us. And when someone gets one of our items and he takes it out of the box, we want him to say, wow, these people really cared about what they're doing.
Stephen Jackson welds on leg and shelf brackets and then the stovepipe collar.
Make sure it's straight and centered. That one's done.
4-Dog started way back with steel camp stoves. Now, high-tech titanium's catching on.
That's the outer shell. Now we're going to do the inner shell.
4-Dog calls this little guy a bush cooker, a small and very efficient stove campers fuel with a few dried twigs or even a shot of alcohol.
Now I grab this and I'm going to make sure it fits in her neck.
The stoves must work. Heck, Canada's mounted police use them on their remote trips.
What we're going to do here, we're going to be making an ultralight 2 titanium stove.
Don's other specialty now includes bigger titanium tent stoves.
What this will do is this will heat up to a 10 by 12 wall tent at 30 below. Airtight seam.
4-Dog stoves sell. Just listen.
Last year we made 975.
Don's been doing this 28 years.
I would say it'd have to have been made at least, I'd say 12 to 14,000 of them.
Metal's so fun because you can do anything with it. You know, you can work with wood and you can do anything with it, but metal, if you make a mistake, you can just weld it back up and cut it again.
Okay, back to the steel stove. Stephen just finished the build. Now, Mark Matty Matson takes over.
Take off all the slag from the welder. Make sure everything's smooth.
Matty cleans each stove and preps it for paint. He takes off excess welding splash, the oil, the dirt, everything, and gets it ready for the paint shack.
Double check a couple spots, especially the door, because that's first thing the customer's gonna see when they pull it out of the box.
Final touch,
Carburetor cleaner gets you nice and clean.
so the stove paint will stick.
And then bring it on over to the paint shack.
Yep, Matty's other office. In here, he sprays on steady, even layers of stove paint. These 4-Dogs are now complete and ready for the woods.
The thing I really love about making them is that I feel like I create memories for people. This allows me to share my passion I have, you know, for the outdoors.
4-Dog stoves help adventurers not only survive, but thrive outdoors in darn near every condition imaginable.
It's providing them with what I'm doing, providing them with warmth and food. So I get the warmer from the outside, I get it warmer from the inside. I guess I couldn't have dreamed for anything more, and I feel really fortunate.
Don Cavala's still a kid at heart, but making some of the best darn stoves to ever be hauled back into the bush. 4-Dog stoves, quite the story, made for the outdoors.
a lumberjack tradition is making waves across the country. Up next, we're rocking and rolling with key log rolling. Wisconsin's North Woods are known for many things: thick forests, awesome lakes, and the Lumberjack World Championships, where one of the main events is log rolling. This is a fun water sport for the entire family, and key log rolling is keeping a tradition rocking and rolling that dates back to the 1800s. Log rolling became a sport during the Great Logging Era. The Mississippi was the primary route for loggers in the Midwest. When logs were sent downriver to sawmills, they would get jammed, so men were hired to move them. Log rolling became a trick of the trade, and also led to mini competitions of who could stay on the log the longest and stay out of the frigid waters. Now, more than 100 years later, it remains the sport of choice for American lumberjacks, with the Log Rolling World Championships held every year in Hayward, Wisconsin. It's also making waves across the entire country as a fun, competitive water sport. Many colleges and universities now have competitive teams, and area youth programs are introducing kids to the sport.
I love that it's a sparring sport and that it's in the water because I really love doing activities in the water. I just like how unique it is, really, and how just different it is from everything else.
Since the 1960s, one of the main families behind the log rolling movement has been the Heschlers.
It's really a very pure, authentic sport. Nothing's changed except people have gotten better at it, and now the equipment, which is going to be able to spread this sport all over the world.
Judy Heschler is a 7-time world champion. She passed the tradition on to her children, who are also world champions.
She not only passed on her love of log rolling, but also her love of teaching log rolling to me and sharing it with others. It's just part of who I am. I mean, it's a big part of my identity. The reason I love it is it's just a workout that's not like anything else. You get in fabulous shape.
And along with competing, the Heschler family also owns Key Log Rolling, which creates these synthetic logs. Let's see how they're made for the outdoors. The Key Log Rolling manufacturing facility is located in Winona, Minnesota.
This is a family business, and it starts from a family passion about log rolling, and it really begins with my wife.
I mean, the reason that we created the key log was to grow the sport internationally. I have a belief that it's the potential to be an amazing Olympic sport.
There really is no market for log rolling. We are not only developing it into a sport, an Olympic sport, but we're developing it as a market. We designed it with a couple engineering students from the University of Winona. They worked out the math. We did a prototype, and basically it was a classic garage start company.
This synthetic product is a 65-pound portable training log that floats, spins, and reacts just like the competitive cedar log. However, it's a lot lighter. The process is called rotomolding, which is where plastic resin powder is melted into a mold. The main ingredient is polyethylene, which is the same material used for plastic grocery bags. Our log will be red with blue stripes on the end, so we're using this resin powder, which is the same consistency as sugar.
So this is the raw material that we use. It's high-density polyethylene, and it comes in a powder-like form. Then we measure out 57 pounds.
And it takes all 57 pounds to create a 12-foot log. In the end, the final product will only weigh 65 pounds.
Oh yeah, this is light.
Which is a lot lighter than the 500-pound white cedar logs used for competition.
It's been really a fascinating journey to learn and work with engineers and scientists and materials engineers and manufacturers.
Up next, we load the mold and start rocking and rolling. Plus, the goal is to stay out of the water. Yep, you're not going to want to miss this.
Made for the Outdoors is brought to you by Central Boiler, Mountain Dew, Running Aces Casino and Racetrack, B&W Trailer Hitches, Bonfee, Alumacraft, and by Game Fair.
It's a 125-year-old tradition, standing the test of time, and still rocking and rolling in 2016. These days, it's far more than lumberjacks who love to log roll.
It's been incredible to see how quickly people are learning how to log roll.
Key Log Rolling is a startup company based in Minnesota. This family-owned business is run by world champion log rollers.
My parents, and my mom specifically, had this dream of creating a lightweight synthetic log rolling log to make the sport more accessible to people.
The company not only manufactures synthetic training logs,
each of you fight for control and try to maneuver it.
But it also promotes programs across the country and internationally to advance the sport.
We have over 400 log rolling programs across the United States, plus Canada, Australia, France, Germany, and Austria.
To create a lightweight portable log, it takes a number of steps. First, the 12-foot mold is sprayed with an adhesive glue. Every log has blue stripes near the outer edge with the Key Log logo. These decals are placed inside.
They actually are molded right into the log itself so that they don't peel off. So this is the raw material that we use.
Next, 57 pounds of high-density polyethylene resin powder is dumped into the mold. Just like when baking at home, there's a certain recipe, temperature, and bake time. This log is made to roll, and it's also born that way. It will cook in a rotomolding oven for 38 minutes.
What that does is as the mold's rocking and rolling in the oven, it's moving that resin around, trying to get the even thickness. What we're doing is shooting for a 1/4 inch thick of plastic all the way around the part.
After the resin is melted, it's then placed into a cooling cradle.
Sits at a flat spin at about 7 RPMs and rotates one direction only. What the air pressure does is it helps pump the part up to the shape of the mold itself. Kind of like blowing up a balloon, but we're blowing up a log inside a log mold.
Once the log is removed from the mold, Chad is in charge of cutting 3.5 inches of excess off of each end.
We're gonna go ahead and trim one end off the sport. I think it's neat, it's cool, it's an outdoor sport, you know, and we're involved with it.
Styrofoam inserts are placed inside to help the log maintain its shape. The log is able to emulate a traditional white cedar log because once complete, the inside is filled with water. There are 2 portholes in each log used to fill it and drain it. Rods and plates are installed to create those holes. The next steps are 2 of the most important for the log roller. The seam is trimmed and the entire log is buffed.
So when the mold closes, right along those seams, you'll get some buildup of the plastic that you have to trim. When you're log rolling, you don't want to catch any of those seams. It's really important that the seal is complete. If you have leaks, then it's almost like you have a waterlogged log, and the log won't spin truly.
You have 2 people rolling on this log. In historical terms, they had spikes on the bottom of their boots, which gave them the traction, allowed them to stay on the log. Now we remove no spikes, no boots. People are wearing tennis shoes and barefoot.
We'll grind the outside layer on there, and what that does is roughen up the surface so they got a nice sticky uniform spot to go ahead and roll on, what you want to call that.
Final assembly includes adding end caps, caulking, inserting plugs, and a safety inspection. So rookie roller right here, and I'm getting a little lesson from none other than a world champion, Abby Heschler.
Nice. Look down here, Lindsay. There you go. Nice. Yep. Kind of drop your butt a little. That's it. There you go. Dig your heels in, dig your heels in.
I do really well when she holds on to the log. It's when she lets go that it's a different story.
Fast feet. Up and down, up and down, up and down. There you go. Nice. That was a good correction. Great form. Sit back. Sit back. Sit back. Moving. Keep it moving. That was awesome. That was so good. Forward. There you go. Nice. Yep. Sit back. If you're not getting wet, you're not trying hard enough in log rolling.
All I want to know is if I get a participation point for just getting on the log.
Of course, well, of course.
It's been very inspiring, really, to see people work with their hands and how an idea can actually be built and delivered to the market and really become a reality. I think it's incredibly inspiring, very interesting journey for me personally and our family.